Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be filming a 4-week pregnancy update. I'm currently 5 weeks, 4 days today. So a little bit late on that, but I'm just going to kind of recap everything that happened and what I felt from when I first found out that I was pregnant up until the 5-week mark. And then I'll be filming my 5-week update here soon as well because I turned 6 weeks on Saturday. So, first off, I just wanted to say I apologize if you hear any background noise. I have 3 dogs and a cat, and they are all very crazy. I also apologize for my appearance. I just got out of the shower. There's Benson trying to say hi. He needs a haircut really bad. But anyways, I'm also going to show you, I had gotten this first time mom's pregnancy journal on Amazon. If you want the link for it, I just comment and I can give you the link for it as well. I just kind of wanted to do something that I could just record and look back on. If you've watched any of my previous videos, which I will put in the cards up here, the playlist to our TTC journey and all of those videos, explaining what we've gone through, how we've got here. I've had 2 previous miscarriages, very early. I don't know if they were technically chemical pregnancies. Some people might consider them that, or an early miscarriage. Either way, we've had some issues getting pregnant. We got pregnant this time it was our 15th month of trying to get pregnant. We were supposed to be going to the doctor and I was going to be put on Clomid next month. And it was kind of a shock that I even got pregnant because I didn't think that I was ovulating. And yeah, so I just really wanted to do some sort of a journal that I was able to fill out and look back on, years to come, just to kind of, remember everything that I've gone through regardless of what happens with this pregnancy, but I do feel pretty confident in it this time. It's actually really cool. It goes weeks 1 to 4, 5 to 8, or 5 to 9, all of that. So every 4 weeks you can fill out that section. And it just asks you a bunch of different questions. It's got places to put belly shots, your first ultrasound picture. It has checklists for you, self-care for yourself, things for the baby that you should be potentially looking into, medical questions to ask. I mean, just lots of really cool things, and little journal areas where you can kind of it gives you a topic and you can write it down. And so, yeah, I really like it so far. I mean, obviously I've only filled out the weeks 1 to 4. I guess the next one is 5 to 8 now that I'm looking at it. So yeah, so every 3 weeks. But yeah, it's just really kind of cool and I really like it. So, this is what it looks like. It's the First Time Mom's Pregnancy Journal, Monthly Checklist, Activities, and Journal Prompts. And it's by Aubrey Grosson. So yeah, I got it on Amazon. It was $10. And I mean, it's a thick book. I was thinking it was going to be a little tiny book just from the pictures online. But no, it's actually really nice. And I mean, it's pretty quality. So it will last actually. So yeah, so I'll just kind of start back to, this whole cycle, then finding out that we were pregnant just because we did find out so early. I was 3 weeks and a couple days, I think, when I got my first positive pregnancy test, which is super early. I don't know how many DPO I was because like I said, I didn't even think that I was ovulating. Sorry, my hair is crazy. I didn't even think that I was ovulating. I had been taking progesterone, which I also mentioned, because I switched OBGYNs. And my first OBGYN is who prescribed me the progesterone when, I was having issues and having irregular cycles. I'm on metformin. I take 1,000 milligrams in the morning, 1,000 milligrams in the evening, plus the progesterone mixed in there. The first OBGYN that I went to had prescribed me to take it cycle days 10 through cycle day 25, which I kind of thought was weird, but I mean, he's the professional. I'm not going to question him. He's the one that diagnosed me with PCOS, but he had never done any testing on me. The only thing that he had tested me for was, my thyroid, and it was normal. So, and then that's when he put me on the metformin, which he was you don't have to take it if you don't want to, but I'm going to give you the prescription for it, which I'm if it's going to help me get pregnant, I'm going to take it. At that point, we had already been trying for a while. I'd had the 2 early miscarriages / chemical pregnancies. And so, yeah, I'm like, I'm going to do whatever it takes to try and like get my body right to have a baby. Like that's obviously what we're trying to do. And so, he prescribed me the progesterone and was just like, I'll see you in 6 months and we'll see how it's working. And there was a lot of other things too, which you can go back. I'll probably do like more of a detailed video maybe one day on my whole experience. But I really like my OBGYN now and I like the office that I'm going to. So I'm glad that I am pregnant and that's where I'm going and I already established care there. But yeah, so then I ended up switching OBs and she finally like did a pelvic ultrasound because I never had one of those before. She's like, you have a couple factors that would like potentially say you have PCOS. She's like, but you don't have any cysts on your ovaries. You don't have any of that. Like I am insulin resistant, but I've always been insulin resistant. Like I've always had issues with that my whole life. My mom had taken me to an endocrinologist, like when I was in like junior high, like I've always had that issue. I've known that I've had that issue. So yeah, so the metformin was definitely helping me with that. And she told me to take I could keep taking the progesterone if I wanted to. She's like, but I don't know if you need that or not. She's like, but take it cycle day 14 through cycle day 28. So that's what I had been doing. I think I had seen her for the first time, like very beginning of August or something like that, or like July. I can't remember. It was something around there because in the beginning of July, that was a whole year of us trying to get pregnant and obviously failing. So, she told me to switch up the days that I was taking the progesterone, which I did. But for some reason this last cycle, I just decided I didn't feel like taking it. It always made me like have super horrible PMS symptoms, like way worse than I normally would. I always was like super bloated. I mean, it was just really bad. Like I did not feel good the last half of my cycle when I was on it. And yeah, and my primary care doctor was like, I don't really feel like you need it, but if you want to keep taking it, go ahead. Like I was supposed to see the doctor in November anyways, which we're in November now, but, so this month I was supposed to go and have another appointment with her. So I was supposed to have another appointment with her anyways this month, to potentially have her take me completely off the progesterone and start Clomid or whatever and run some more tests. And so I just decided, you know what, I'm just not going to take it. I started off the cycle by, okay, we're going to baby dance every other day from cycle day 5 on. And then I was taking the OPKs and trying to track when I was ovulating, and I was doing it at the same time every single day. I took one in like kind of like mid morning, and then I would take one like in the evening time every single day, same time. Just trying to track it. By cycle day 12, I think it was, they were starting to get a little bit darker, but with PCOS, it always kind of varies. Like some days it'll get like a little bit darker and you're think, oh, like maybe I'm getting ready to peak. And then other days and then the next day it goes back down to hardly anything. So I wasn't really like paying that close of attention. I started subbing at the school here in town, like right around cycle day 12. And so I wasn't able to take them at those times. I had been taking them when I was just at home. And so I kind of fell off the wagon of testing every day. And so I just kind of stopped. I didn't do it anymore. We kind of stayed on the baby dancing every other day type of thing, but we kind of skipped a couple days in there because we got a little busy and life, all of that. And so I wasn't really expecting anything to come of this cycle at all. Like I was like, I'm not ovulating on my own. Like that's been proven. Like the doctor, when she did the pelvic ultrasound, told me she didn't think I was ovulating because I had a lot of more mature follicles in my left ovary, I think it was. And then I also had some in my right too. She's like, I just don't think that you're ovulating on your own. Okay, fine. But she's like, your uterus and everything looks great. Like everything looks great. She's like, I just don't think that you're ovulating. Okay. So I was just under the impression I wasn't ovulating, but she wanted us from the last time that I saw her until the appointment we were supposed to have this month to try on our own, do the every other day, around my fertile window, do every day, which we did not do. We just did the every other day kind of, and just to see if it would happen naturally on its own. Well, it did. So the night that I took a pregnancy test, so we had the weekend, like that weekend before, I took a test on Monday evening. That weekend before we were both in some of our best friend's wedding. And so it was kind of busy and crazy, and we spent like all day Sunday, like not really doing too much. And then Monday night we were just like, my husband had to go back to work, and then we were just sitting on the couch watching one of our shows. And, I kind of had like some weird, like, I wouldn't really call it like a period cramp. It was just like a weird, like kind of crampy feeling and like some lower back pain, which I'm like, okay, you know, we were at that wedding and we were dancing and we were busy, you know, all day. We were moving stuff. So I'm like, it could just be, I'm just a little sore from that or something. Cause I'm like, I shouldn't be anywhere near to close to starting my period. The cycle before I'd had a 32-day cycle before I had a 29-day cycle. They were still always in between 28 and 32 days, but I'm like, there's no way that that's my period coming right now. And so for some reason, before we went to bed, I went upstairs and took an OPK because I'm like, maybe I'm ovulating now, because that's almost kind of what it felt like. So I took an OPK and then I had a first response. And I just took a first response just for like shits and grins. And I went in to lay down and like let them process or whatever. And I checked them after the 5 minutes and I'm like, wait a second. Like the OPK was kind of dark, not like positive, but it was dark. And the first response had a line on it. And I'm like, but I had been getting, like, first response right now is known for, like, those crazy freaking indent lines, which are super annoying. I don't know why I continued to buy them, but everybody does. And so I kept looking at it and I'm like, I don't feel like this is an indent line. Like, this is darker and it's pink and it was there within the 5 minutes. Like, I don't think this is an indent line. And so I showed it to my husband and he's like, I mean, yeah, I kind of see a line on there, but not really. But he's like, he's a man and he doesn't have line eyes like we do, you know? And so I'm like, I'm going to go take another one. And so I went in and peed again. So this is like maybe a 10-minute hold, okay, of pee. I had another first response. So I took another first response from a different box because I had 2 boxes and I know how that works. So I took one from a different box. So I took a first response from a different box than the first one I took a Pregmate strip pregnancy test. And I also had one of the clear blue, like red dye tests. I can't remember, like the early detect. They're like the first response, you know, whatever. So I took all of those and within 5 minutes, they all had faint lines. And I'm like, oh my God. And like the clear blue and the first response obviously was a little bit of a darker line than the strip test of the Pregmate, but I could kind of see a line. But on those, I feel like they have weird indent lines anyways. So I was like, whatever. But I like was freaking out because I'm like, oh my gosh. But then I'm also like, okay, I can't get too excited because this could end in an early miscarriage like it has every other time this has happened to me. So I'm like cautiously optimistic, whatever. So I barely sleep that night because I'm just like freaking out the whole time, you know? And so the very next morning, I obviously still had more tests because I'm a psycho and I order them in bulk on freaking Amazon and keep them in my closet. And so next morning I woke up, first morning urine, took more tests. They were all darker than the ones from before. And so I'm like, okay, this is like possibly really happening. So I took those tests. I called my OBGYN and I'm like, listen, I think I'm pregnant. I just took multiple different brands of pregnancy tests. They all have lines on them. I took some last night and they're darker than they were last night. So do you want me to come in there to get a beta HCG? I said, or I have a primary care visit today, this afternoon. I could have them maybe just draw my beta and be done and just call you guys with the results. And they're like, yeah, that's fine. So that's what I did. I called my doctor's office for my primary and said, you know, can you please order me a beta HCG to get today? Since I already have that appointment, I think I'm pregnant, blah, 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 blah. So they order it. I was going to go before the appointment, but I didn't because they were closed. And so I went after my appointment, got my beta drawn, whatever. And I explained this whole like fiasco in another video, which is also, I will leave in the cards too. So make sure you go to my channel and watch all of those because it explains all of this more in depth. I'm not going to try and like hold this video up for like ever. But essentially I had some issues with my doctor's office that day, but finally found out that my HCG level was 12. So I called my OBGYN back on that Wednesday and they were like, we would like for you to come get another beta draw. Maybe wait until after you would potentially miss your period, which on my app, it had predicted that I would start my period like over the weekend. And so they're like, maybe if you wait till like Monday to come in, like that would be a good time. So I was like, okay. So this was so I'd gotten my beta drawn on a Tuesday, found out on Wednesday it was 12, continued to take pregnancy tests. They were all getting much darker. I had taken I think I took a clear blue digital on Tuesday night and it said not pregnant, which I expected that. But then I took one on Wednesday night and it was pregnant. And so I'm like, as soon as that came up, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is like legit. I feel like I was so confident, still am confident. And yeah, so yeah, it's just been crazy ever since. I went Monday, got my beta drawn again. And I want to say, or the Monday after that, wasn't this past Monday. Went back Monday, got my beta drawn again. Got that result back later that day because they're like super fast at my OBGYN's office. OB-GYN's office, I think is what people say. It's much easier than saying OBGYN. Anyways, got those results back and they were like can't remember if it was like 356 or like 366. Either way, high 3-digit number. And so I'm like, okay, because I was expecting like 150, like, because I had the 12, they say HCG doubles every like 48 to 72 hours. So I was kind of like calculating that in my head. And I'm like, I will be confident if I open this result and it says 150 and it said 350 something or 360 something. And I was like, okay, hold on just a second. Okay. Anyway, so, I was confident in that number and, yeah, so it was all good. So that was last week. So we've pretty much known for 3 weeks now, which is crazy. It doesn't seem like we've known for that long, or almost 3 weeks, I guess. Yeah. So I guess symptom wise, I didn't really have anything at first except for, kind of like it's really hard to explain. Like when you Google it, it says it's like menstrual cramps, but it's really not. It's very like, for me anyways, is very like a dull pain, kind of like a pinching, pulling, stretching type feeling. And then just like some lower back pain, like in like your tailbone area, like right above your butt. But it wasn't anything crazy. Like I didn't feel like, oh my gosh, I need to take like ibuprofen. No, it wasn't anything like that. Very like mild, kind of there. And so that was really the only symptom that I had for a few days. And then one morning I woke up and I want to say I was pretty much 4 weeks. So this was like, it would have been after I would have gotten my blood drawn. So I would have been 4 weeks and a couple days, maybe, like I would have already missed my period. But then I started in on like the nauseous feeling, and it wasn't every day and it wasn't all day, but it started out like I would wake up and just feel like bleh, like, and just I was tired and I was going to bed super early. Felt like I couldn't get out of bed because I was just so exhausted, even though I had slept all night, which I started like urinating more frequently too. So that's fun. So I was getting up a couple times in the night to pee, which is not usual for me. Usually I have like a bladder of steel and I can hold my pee for a long time. Not so much anymore. And then I've been kind of like bloated, and it's weird. It's so different. Like I've never like been this far along pregnant before. So it's like a whole new like thing. But it's like, you just like feel bloated. Like I haven't gained any weight. I've stayed right where I was because I've been checking that because I was losing weight. I've been losing weight for a couple months now. Like every week I was losing a couple pounds, and I haven't lost any more weight, but I haven't gained anything. So I'm kind of hoping that it kind of like stays like that, but I'm sure a lot of that is because of the bloating. But yeah, it's not like a full belly bloat feeling. It's just that like you can't suck in your stomach, or at least that's how I feel. I don't know. It's just kind of weird. So yeah, so I've had some of that. Just like kind of the nauseous feeling. I've only puked like twice. But I think it was like I was brushing my teeth and I just like gagged too much, you know what I mean? And like it wasn't anything crazy, but I've really not been able to like eat a whole lot. Like sometimes I can, sometimes I feel like I want to eat, and other times I'm just like nothing sounds good, like, which is I feel like is not a good thing. Like I've been trying to like almost force myself to eat something because I'm like I have to eat, like I can't just not eat. And I've been trying to drink water, but even like in the morning times, like just trying to drink water is just not there. It's just not doing it for me sometimes. Today I don't feel as bad. I was actually able to get up and eat something, which it's like 12 o'clock, almost 1. And yeah, most days I can't eat anything until like 2, which I don't think is very good. But usually in the evenings I feel pretty good. I don't feel bad in the evening time, so that's good. My boobs. I thought my boobs hurt when I was getting ready to have my period. No, it's a whole nother ballgame when you're pregnant. Let me tell you that. My boobs have already grown at least 1 cup size. I think probably more. I have one like legit bra that fits me, and one legit bra that fits me, and my boobs are starting to pop out of it. Today, which most days I found them on Amazon. They're like super freaking comfortable. Like, because 9 times out of 10 I'm in like yoga pants and a t-shirt. I'm just gonna be real honest with you. And so they're just very like stretchy, like sports bra type, and my boobs are popping out of them now. So yes, my boobs are popping out of those now. My nipples are hard all the time. My husband is like loving this. So that's fun. But they're so freaking sensitive. I swear to God, if I don't have a bra on and I accidentally like just barely brush my nip on something, literally feels like pins and needles are like stabbing you. So that's fun. And they're super heavy, and they're just like, if I roll over in bed, it hurts, and it's just all of that. So yeah, but I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I had like some headaches, but I don't know if that was just because, like, it says that you can get some like mild headaches like for like when you first find out you're pregnant or whatever. But I don't know if it was necessarily from that, or if it was because I feel like I've been a little dehydrated, I'm not gonna lie, which is probably not a good thing. So I've been trying to like chug water. Sometimes it just makes you feel like I'm gonna throw up. I'm not gonna lie. It's very difficult. It's a new feeling to always feel like you're gonna throw up, but it's okay. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else. I think that was pretty much all the symptoms that I've had from week 4 to 5. I'm sure I'll have more to update when I do a 5-week update. But yeah, so definitely if you're a first-time mom, or even if you're not a first-time mom but you never did a journal before, do one of these journals, because honestly I'll probably do one with every pregnancy. Like, even though it says like first-time moms, like, these are really cool, and I really am glad that I bought this. Like, I feel like it's definitely worth the $10. Like, I probably would have paid $20 for this, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I really like it, so I definitely highly recommend it. And plus I'm just really excited to like look back on it, and it asks you questions of stuff that you don't really think about either, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, so I guess stay tuned for my next pregnancy update. There might be a new like baby registry box unboxing in between when I upload this and when I upload my 5-week update, possibly. I'm not sure yet. It depends on when my next ones come in. I did just upload a baby box when I did the newbie box and the kind set. You have to pay for both of them, but they're worth it, I think. So you essentially pay for shipping. So yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below if you're also on the same journey that I am right now, how far along you are, what symptoms you guys experienced when you first found out that you were pregnant. And yeah, I will see you guys next time with another video. So thanks for watching.